All right, everybody, boy genius. Got Amanda behind the camera, gonna put her on this today too. I will say that I had this Daniel Defense PCC laying right here in the sun. It's been overcast all week and rainy. And when I tell you that the humidity and heat out here is off the rails today, I could not even touch my suppressor here. My magazines had gotten hot, but these Sparrow Dynamic rail covers here are room temperature. So I hope that means they are really going to protect my hand from the heat that probably will build up in this rail while I am shooting this Daniel. I'm going to put 335 round magazines through it, suppressed. What is that? 30, 60, 90, 105. So 105 rounds suppressed. I think that'll give me a pretty good judge of how well these things will protect. But either way, and hold up to see if they buckle or anything like that. But this is about the Daniel Defense too. Already put 100 rounds through it. Amanda did shoot it, and I do have a video up already on the tabletop that I invite you to go over and check out. And I talk about some of the specs, most of the specs. Again, you know I don't like doing that because you can look at most of that stuff for yourself, okay? So what I want to determine is, again, this goes or ranges anywhere from around $1,400 if you find one on sale at the right place, all the way up to as much as $1,900. Just depends on where you're looking, when you find it, and all of those good things. But on average, somewhere around $1,600. So in the PCC world, okay, with Ruger, you have let's see, Smith & Wesson. You have a lot of companies that make PCCs, some in 45, some in 9, some in 10 millimeter. So how does it stack up? Is it worth the extra money? Okay, trigger, all of those types of things. So that's what I'm going to do. Before I get started doing that, I'm going to shut the camera off because Amanda's going to try to give you some behind shots, you know, some up close stuff. Get a little theatrical here, which is not something we do here at G Squared Tactical very often. But before I do that, just want to, as always, extend an invitation for you to know Jesus Christ as your Savior. If you do not, if you don't know what that means, if you've had questions before, you're unsure, you just need maybe some, some security. Maybe you're having some doubts about things. Allow me to share the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ with you. You can reach out to me in the comment section or at gsquaredtactical@gmail.com and allow me to do that. So we're just going to get right to shooting this thing. So the other day, Miss Amanda said when she shot this, a little short that I'd done, well, at the beginning of the video I did on the tabletop, she boldly proclaimed at the end of her shooting that she got all 30, but it's actually 28. I said, you're gonna get a full complement today of 35 rounds. So I put 105 rounds through that thing super quick, nothing slow about it at all. And if anyone who shoots suppressed knows, if you want to get something hot, shoot it suppressed, it'll get hot really quick. She said, Gene, your doggone bags are melting. And they kind of sort of are. They're actually almost too hot to hold.
Hot out here.
But those protectors from Sparrow Dynamics are almost room temperature. They're a little warm because they've been sitting in the sun, but they're almost room temperature compared to the rest of the gun. So they're definitely doing their job. I will report as time goes on how they hold up as far as staying in place and all that kind of stuff. But so far so good. Loving the Sparrow Spring. No, I'm sorry, Sparrow Spring. There's a place around here called Sparrow Dynamics. I'll put a link up in the corner of the screen to this product if you want some silicone rail covers. so far loving the things, and they look sick on the gun. And also, I mentioned that they were black. Turns out, as we were looking back through our emails and also looking at the number on the back of the packaging here that we received, we actually got the gray. I thought they were stealth gray. Miss Amanda said they're just gray. But either way, they look sick on the gun. But so this will be, what would that be, 140?
105, and then this one will be 140.
140 rounds through the Daniel Defense. So after Miss Amanda shoots the gun, I'll tell you a little bit about what I think as far as how it stacks up to some of the other ones I've shot and whether or not it's worth the extra money. So see what you got, Miss Amanda. So you didn't hit all 35. That
smoke.
Yeah, that smoke messes you up. And that's another thing about shooting suppressed, is that smoke will mess you up. Especially since I had just cleaned the suppressor before we brought it out here, and I had to put some of that white lithium.
Thick, I couldn't see.
Yeah, I know. And I was missing a lot too when I was shooting, because the smoke gets so thick you can't see through your red dot. I couldn't even see my my flip ups here. I noticed you were getting your fingers on that rail right there. Was that thing getting hot? On the very,
it is hot,
yeah, on the very top. Yeah, it is hot up there for sure. yeah, it's pretty hot up there. But these are feeling nice.
No, they good.
I like them a lot, man. It's really nice. So anyway, all right. So I'll let you get off camera. I know you don't like being on camera, so I'll take it away from you here. And so one thing that I think is pretty cool is that you want to make sure the camera's still still recording. It's so hot out here, it probably done stopped on us. I don't know. Still good to go? All right then. But because of the angle you were shooting at, them rounds, them spent casings was going right over the camera almost every time. It's pretty cool, so they got a show either way. Okay. I don't know that I want to say just yet, only having put 100 rounds the other day, 140 today, so that's 240. And all the other PCCs that I reviewed, I put a monster amount of rounds through them. I probably put anywhere from 6 to 1,000 through each one of them. So I don't know that I can say, but one thing that I do know from my research, from people that had them, people that I trust, people that I know that are not shields, is that the Daniel Defense is built like a tank, okay? And the quality control from Daniel Defense is, from what some say, what most say, is second to none. So I say, in that sense, the way that it is built, the build quality, if you will, just holding it, as I have said before, having held guns for a really, really long time, and being OCD as I am, it's easy for me to pick something up and tell quality. And I can tell just from picking this up and picking up my FPC and my Ruger that the build quality on this is no doubt better. It's no doubt better, okay? The trigger is phenomenal, okay? So I know that Miss Amanda don't talk. When she gives her opinion, it's very organic. That's why I like it. She doesn't know the terminology and all of that stuff. So what she says is very, very organic. It's pure. And one thing she mentioned is how much, off camera, of course, she never says anything on camera, but how much she really liked the trigger on this gun. So, and she shot all of the other PCCs. So the trigger is phenomenal on this gun. And so far it's been flawless. So you got the fact that it's been flawless. You have the fact that the trigger is amazing and the build quality is amazing, okay? And obviously it shot very effectively and proficiently, if you will, with the suppressor on there. So no problems with it being suppressed. I will do a little video on how I got that flash hider off of there, because that was a whole thing. But I don't want to give away how I done it, because I want you to watch the video. But either way, I'm impressed with it so far, but I'm not going to say, sorry to have disappointed you. I'm not going to say if it's worth the extra $500-600 over some of the other ones, because, and the only reason I'm not going to say that, I would say it, absolutely I would, if I was just comparing it to the FPC, the Response, the, what was the other one I've been naming off? FPC, Response, the Ruger LC, the Ruger Carbine, the 9mm, the 10mm. If I was just comparing it to those, I would say yes. But the one thing that's causing me a little bit of hesitation is because of my Strybog. I've always told everyone that my Grand Power Strybog has been my favorite PCC, and that is true. And I don't know if I'm ready to say that this one is better. Now, my Grand Strybog is about a $1,200 PCC. Again, this one can range somewhere between 14 and 15 if you find it at a very good price. So is it worth the extra $300 or $400 in that case? I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to run it some more, probably under different conditions, not sweltering and just, you know, sweat running all down every crevice, okay? And I'll be able to tell you more about that then. But so far, so good, completely flawless. What is that? What I say, 240 rounds through this. 140 of those were suppressed without issue. So stay tuned. We'll have more for this. Thanks so much for watching. Consider going over, supporting us on the platforms, as always, that are available. Patreon, $5, $10 a month. There is no obligation there. It will automatically renew, but you can cancel at any time. Every bit of that will go back into the channel. The most that we'll get is if you go to our website, gsquaredtactical.com, click on the 3 lines in the corner. As of yet, only one person or so has done that, and you can make a one-time monetary donation if you don't want the monthly commitment. And also, as Miss Amanda pointed out, she's the only one sporting the G Squared shirt and the G Squared hat today. We have ladies' hats with the ponytail opening in the back of them, and check those out. Buy some, but let us ship some stuff out. We got stuff laying around we need to ship out.
We don't have them on the.
Huh?
Do we have these on the web yet?
I don't know. Yeah. We put the women's on the website. Yeah. So either way, go out, pick you one of these bad boys up. I believe wholeheartedly, because of the name that stands behind it, that it's going to be everything you want it to be. The Daniel Defense PCC Pistol. Thanks again so much for watching. If you can't do anything monetarily, completely understand, but you can hit the subscribe, and that would help us out a ton. And as always, to God only be the glory.